I'm an entrepreneur, and visually that means different things to different people. Many of you may be thinking of this. When I think of it, I think more along the lines of this. And those with experience know that it can end in this. But the mantra of the entrepreneur is the same. The purpose is to identify problems and find viable solutions for them. And there's a pretty big issue that needs all of our attention right now. Because as our planet's population skyrockets towards 10 billion people, we're being forced to find ways to solve problems that our current food system started creating around 100 years ago. From the mission to feed 800 million people who don't have access to nutrition on a daily basis, to finding a way to produce enough food for the rest of us in a sustainable way, both environmentally and economically. One of the biggest challenges facing the future of food right now revolves around our ability as a species to use what we grow more efficiently. Because we actually do grow enough food right now to feed everyone. We grow enough to cover the projected population rise of the coming decades. But that food surplus isn't really a surplus at all, because it doesn't find its way into the plates of people. That food surplus is mainly crops such as soybeans and maize, and it's used as animal feed to be converted into meat. Actually, 36% of all crop calories grown globally are used as animal feed, which then converts only at 12% of the total out to consumable calories for human beings. It's incredibly inefficient. And what that looks like is, if we take chicken, which is the most efficient meat, still requires 9 calories of plants to go in for 1 calorie to come out. And to feed me, that means that I need 2 whole chickens of 1,100 calories each to keep me calorie sufficient for 1 day. But if you were to give me the calories fed to them, I'd stay sufficient for a week and a half. And so we have 2 big decisions to make as we move towards sustainable food systems. We have to either decrease our meat consumption or find more efficient ways to produce it. And while the signs are that a lot of people are actually looking at ways to decrease the amount of meat that they eat, at the same time, we're seeing predictions telling us that global meat demand will rise by 70% by 2050. So these are the decisions we have to make, and it might seem that it's complex, but consumers traditionally make their food purchasing decisions based on 3 main criteria. And those are taste, price, and convenience. So if we can solve for that, then maybe there's a way to do this. Maybe there's a way to use what we grow more economically. Maybe there's a way to keep all of our taste buds happy. Because I don't think we can take meat off the menu altogether. But I do think we can take away the animal. And so we're at this cross-section now where there are 2 fascinating new technologies that could lead us down a path that moves us away from the current system. And one of those is plant-based meat. So plant-based meat involves the production of products which are similar to meat using ingredients and production processes. Exhibit A here, that's made from plants. And different legumes, crops, and other materials are used then combined and cooked to bring out a product at the end that has similar texture and often far better nutritional profiles than its animal counterpart. So this is the Impossible Burger and this is the Beyond Burger, 2 companies who have mastered plant-based beef. Now the other technology is clean meat. Clean meat involves the production of real animal cells outside of the animal in a controlled environment, with the end result being meat which is biologically identical to the meat that you would otherwise take from the animal. And with clean meat, it's fascinating because it borrows existing technologies from the medical profession and tissue engineering in particular to grow cells through a bioreactor by first culturing them and then allowing them to grow. And so what that would look like is this. This is a clean meatball grown by Memphis Meats just last year. And as we use these new technologies, it allows us to use the land more efficiently as well. And in terms of our environmental impact, we can register up to a 90% reduction in terms of land use, in terms of water usage, and then also we're able to limit CO2 emissions as well by the same amount. And we're able to reduce the overall energy used to produce these foods by 50% with plant-based, and then even more with clean meat as we scale. So the whole alternative protein space in general has given us some exciting new products in the last couple of years. And as scientists, entrepreneurs, chefs, and investors get together, what we're seeing is products that could revolutionize the food system. We have scrambled eggs from mung beans. We're seeing tuna from navy beans. We're growing turkey slices using wheat. Sashimi tuna, actually grown from tomatoes. And there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the space. So the point is, we're on the verge of some huge technological changes here. And the truth is, I believe we're at the beginning of a food revolution. And we've always evolved the way that we cook, produce, and eat meat, as well as food in general. And what I see the future looking like is a system where people will embrace new technologies, but also the principles that they're founded on, which essentially are transparency, sustainability, and efficiency. So I'd like to leave you with a thought experiment. And I want you to imagine that there's a lot of information going in right now, and there's probably a little bit of uncertainty, hopefully coupled in with some excitement. But the experiment is this. You are about to walk into a restaurant, your favorite restaurant, and it's 6 years' time from now. It's 2025, and you're walking in with a person of your choice. And this is hypothetical, so you can take anyone. It's fine. Take a few seconds. And so you walk into the restaurant, and you take a seat at the table. And as you take that seat, you look around, and you realize that everything is exactly the same as your favorite local place right now. The vibrant atmosphere, the friendly staff, the aromas coming from the kitchen, it's all exactly the same. And as you look down to your menu, you've already decided what you're going to have. You've had the animal-free chicken, you've had the plant-based burger, they were good, but today you want real meat. So you talk with whoever has come with you, and you decide you're going to order for them. The waiter comes over, and you tell him confidently that you want 2 steaks, medium rare. And as he writes down your order, you place the napkin nicely on your lap and turn to carry on the conversation with your friend. And he interrupts you politely because he has one last question. So he says, "I'm so sorry, I just wanted to confirm. So here I have 2 steaks, yes. Medium rare, yes. The last thing was just, what meat did you want? Did you want slaughtered or non-slaughtered?" If that's the only difference to your entire dining experience, the only difference, what would you choose?